Y'all look good, but I need to turn this camera on. Okay, now I look good.
Hey!
Oh, I'm sorry.
We said it at the same time.
We kind of do the same thing with you, just so we can kind of get these mic stands out of the frame.
How are we going to join it? You guys don't really...
Oh,
you know,
God.
I grew up more a rock guy, you know.
Okay.
So.
Oh, we got one tuner. Girl, we get in the raw, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
you
still,
can see?
it was pretty nice.
I
There
can
was a
see
great
all
community
y'all.
for it and everything.
see
It just
you
didn't
see
get me
what's
where I wanted to go, and so I woke up. That's where I went.
Hey, I see
I
y'all.
woke up one day at 25. And
Okay,
I'm like,
do I need
shit,
some
I
light?
need to go back to school.
A
This
little
ain't working
bit.
out.
That's what I did.
So that wasn't the light back there?
Yep, didn't
What's
want to
the
give up on
circle
music
for?
though, you know. So
That's
I
not
went
for
for
the light?
recording,
I
and
turned
here
it
I
on
am,
though.
man.
Hey,
I
y'all.
love it every single day of it.
Oh, we got another one.
Best decision I ever made.
I'm so done.
It's your passion, man.
You gotta make sure we share this. I'll come in when we start, okay?
That they really want to do.
I'm just gonna run
for
it.
you to be able to transition
Okay,
to
but
something
how
that
we
you
want
really
to
love
start?
to do.
I want to show my
A lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Man, you know, I'm a
Together.
millennial, you know. I'm sure
I'm
you look like you are too, yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, I mean, it's like my whole frame of mind is I'm probably never going to retire because of the way the system's fucked up, you know. So I want to be able to do something until the day I die, you know.
I need to say hey, don't I?
Yeah. The woman. Please, we got white on it. Please. Please, we got white on it.
That's good. Thanks. Thank you.
Where's yours? We're going to toast and say a prayer.
Absolutely.
Oh, it tastes good. This really tastes good. All right. Oh, people is on, girl.
Turn it so people see what we're drinking. Product placement, right?
Get them keys out the way. Get them keys out the way. You gotta show me how we start this live. I mean, how I share it. Once we start, though.
Okay. What time is it?
8:11. We
8:11.
late. Black people always
We're
late.
making good time. I thought we
right
were going to
on
be
time.
spending a lot more time setting up, so.
No, it's not gonna make sense.
So I don't have a chair?
Yeah, we need to get a chair for you.
Yeah.
Reminding me. I'm like, we're making great time. Yeah, we're ready to go.
She's like, yo, I'm
Just
the
gotta do one of
artist.
these,
Like,
you know?
what's good, son?
I'm making all
And we
night.
gotta say where we from, y'all. You already know. Yeah, already know. Yeah.
All right, so, Chrissy, for you.
How you gonna say it, Uncle?
Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay, we about to go live. I mean, we already live, huh? But we about to start. And, like, I look like Michael Jackson. We about to start in a minute, okay? I'm right here with you, okay? I won't be ready to respond. But if you have a question, please put it in the live feed, and we will go back and re-answer it when we replay the episode. So, stay tuned. We got some good Q&As for you.
Yes. About to tell him to go
All
on
right,
live.
so what I'm going to have to do is pass this over to you. Is that going to...
All right,
do that?
I'm bending. Please, just don't get the weave, please.
It's not super heavy, but it's just a little bulky.
You got
There
it.
we go.
Look at her. She was in the army. Check that.
Okay. One side at a time.
Let's see if that's going to work for you. If not, then we'll have to get creative.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm short.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful. Okay, great.
What?
It's coming together.
Okay. So,
All right, and so let me get you all live on the mics.
Hold on. So where is the...
Check 1, 2, 1, 2.
Wait, you know my live started.
you want me to open this show?
You used to be strong.
Okay.
Do you see me?
I'm not on there. You gotta share
Oh,
me.
go to Facebook. I'm on there.
You on Facebook?
Yeah, I did
My sister's
Facebook.
on Instagram.
Y'all will be able to hear yourselves now if you talk into the mics with your headphones on.
So we'll
Mic
start.
check.
I'll do my Instagram then. But we gotta
Can't hear
do it.
anything? That's right.
Oh.
Mic check.
Hold on just 1 second.
Oh, I ain't do nothing yet.
Turn on the headphone.
How do I go live?
Turn on the headphone box.
Wait, what happened?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't doing it on Instagram, or you are?
No, you
I
can
thought you
do
was
it
on
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Do it on Instagram?
Yeah, either one you want to pick, because I'm going to use all your feeds and put them
Mic
into
check.
one clip.
I don't know where to put it at though, like my phone. because it ain't really capture like
Right. Hold on.
everything. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna catch it. It's gonna catch this. This me.
Yeah, it's gonna catch it's me.
Right. That's why I was saying. I thought you was gonna share us. How you share Facebook?
I can share it like that.
Yes, you
I
can share
thought you could,
Instagram.
Yeah,
you can share on Instagram, but it's like one person, right? Can you share like multiple screens or?
I
just
don't.
one?
Let me see your
I don't know.
Facebook.
I think it's just one.
It's just
All
one
right.
screen.
So share me.
Okay, let me see your Facebook.
But I don't know if you can share on Facebook.
I can do it.
So, oh, this is real. You can hear yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just doing one ear,
Yeah, I
right?
can hear you.
Yeah, because this one don't work.
Oh, I thought that was cool though. So I look doofy with both ears. Okay, shall I try to do it like this? Like this? I can't really hear. Okay.
Oh, there you go, girl.
How
I'm
do-
looking
how
at
do-
us. Okay. This is,
I don't see you.
okay, there you go. I'm starting your watch party.
Watch party is not live. Is it?
It's
Oh,
your,
it's new
yeah,
now?
it's your live.
All right,
What's
so
your Instagram so I can go ahead and tell everybody to go to yours? Cause they ain't be able to watch.
she doing it on Facebook.
She doing yours on Facebook.
Yeah.
So what's the Facebook so I can go ahead?
Author Chrissy Christ with an S.
Right, and I just told everybody Instagram. What you did? Facebook.
Yeah, I'm going Instagram tomorrow though, so that's fine. But either way, they're gonna catch both of them on YouTube.
All right, let's just do Facebook. I have a lot of people on Facebook anyway.
Okay, live.
I'm gonna tell them to come on Facebook.
Y'all
All right,
ready for
y'all.
these questions? I want y'all to be
Girl.
on this ass.
I mean, I still don't know what's the
lost
theme.
puppy.
What we talking about?
Relationships. Okay, so they go live though.
How you just stop? Where am I putting it?
Oh.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna ask
Hi,
you all for
y'all.
like a little mic check here for like a few minutes. Just have a conversation. Chrissy, if you could put your headphones on just so that way you can get that feedback going. The good kind of feedback where you can hear yourself, not the bad kind.
Okay.
And yeah, so just have a conversation, and I'll get you all dialed in, whatever you feel like talking about. Okay?
Okay.
I can hear you.
I hear you.
Oh, commercial.
Okay, hold on, cause I'm still trying to get people to get on Facebook. Philly Facebook. Okay.
Get nerves in there.
There it goes.
I don't see it.
Let me go on Facebook now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I can hear myself.
Done, Chrissy.
Oh, microphone right in front.
Ah, we sound litty. Litty. Oh, he's in our
All
ear.
right,
All
I
right, there you
introduce from. My name's Terrell. TERRELL.
Can we say where we from?
Oh yeah. Wait, you want to go live yourself, or you just want to screen this one? Cause I got that streaming this one.
Yeah, I can stream.
You sure?
Yeah, you're streaming there. That's fine. You're streaming from here, right?
Yeah.
From that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear me? I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah. But I don't know if they hear you.
Y'all good?
Oh yeah, and I'm Joe, by the way. Joe. Yeah.
Jody.
Jody. I like Jody better. Jody.
I like Jody too,
All
girl.
right, that's
Right.
spelled Jodei.
Jody.
Yeah.
Why you do that, Jody? That's exactly how we talking to you too. The Queen Tiffany. Yes.
From New York.
Brooklyn.
Okay, I have. These are for you,
Y'all can
Tiffany.
see us.
Oh my God, can I see this? Oh Lord. Okay, sit down. What do you mean?
Look at the handwriting.
Do you understand this? What? All these questions?
Yeah, the first 11 are from you to me.
Wait,
What?
the first 11 what?
Questions. Yeah.
Where do you see 11? That says 1. Oh.
3.
These are what I'm going to be asking you.
Yeah. You should do mine.
That's beautiful. Oh yeah, I had somebody do that. Don't do that.
You can see.
Yes.
Oh, it's not. We're not gonna call.
I know. What is this?
Okay. So first and foremost, I want to say welcome to a Fistfull podcast. I'm your host, Christy Price, that reveals the most. And tonight is a special episode for my live anniversary show for 1 year as a podcast host. Yes.
He didn't know.
Oh, you're fine. I'm sorry.
Do I have to be online? Or I can just...
Okay, awesome. Oh,
You
we're
gotta turn the
recording.
sound
Oh.
How you going to say we live yet?
Yeah, do we have to keep it on our screen the watch party?
Yeah, unless you want to live stream it yourself.
She said
It's already on
my
your-
sister
it's
said
already
she
on
can't
your,
see me.
Facebook,
You saw
so-
it on my
I just
my
told everyone to
Facebook
go to
Live.
your Facebook, so they yeah,
I
it's
see
streaming
y'all,
off there.
She said she can't. So just go to her Facebook.
Yeah, just go to
Let
her
me
Facebook.
let me screenshot you. But you're what if you're private? Are you?
I'm not private. I'm
Okay.
public.
Okay. So wait. See? Okay. I don't know. What is you? Just put it in here. Okay. That's my text.
Hello, and welcome to a Fistfull podcast.
Could you wait, Mister?
Give a countdown.
Yeah, give me a cue. Hello, and welcome to a Fistfull podcast. I'm your host, Christy Price, that reveals the most. And tonight's episode 3 of it's episode 12 of season 3. It's actually a live anniversary show for my first year as a podcast host. And on tonight, I have 3 special people with me to celebrate this special night. And one to my left is Mr. Terrell, a.k.a. TJB. He's an artist and project manager here in Savannah, Georgia. He will be a male perspective also for the Q&A live. And I have my best friend from college, the alumni, Miss Tiffany herself, as a female perspective and co-host. And I also have Mr. Jody to my right, and he will be a male perspective as well for the Q&A for the ladies. All right, so moving forward, I'm not going to waste any time moving forward because tonight is going to be short, brief, and quick. And first I want to start off with a prayer, and I'm going to open it, so I just want to say, everyone to bow your heads, and let's go into a quick prayer for tonight. As a faith-driven entrepreneur with a faith-based business and platform, I come to you tonight with a humble heart and peace of mind to lift everyone here standing with me before you. I pray that we blow the roof off these next 2 nights with laughs, sincerity, genuine, and honest responses. And most importantly, our own raw truth to help and inspire others that may tune in or replay with us. I pray that the feedback and responses from tonight's episode and tomorrow's episode bring us the most unexpected blessings we may expect from within all the right people and things with unexpected, genuine purpose behind it. In Jesus' name, I thank each and every one of you that's sitting here before me for showing up and coming through for me. Now, let's enjoy, love, laugh, and while God show up and show out with us tonight. Amen.
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 All right.
Amen.
So moving forward, I have my co-host, Tiffany, to ask me some Q&As from the audience that was handpicked for being a host as a podcast host. So go ahead, Tiffany. I'll let you tune in and get started with your question.
Well, hello. Brooklyn's in the house. Back up, Jody. I don't think nobody can see me. This is my first time doing this. I'm very excited. I'm very hyped. I am raw cut, so excuse me if you don't understand what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it how I know how to say it. Okay, so what is a fistful and why you choose that name?
Fistfull is a fistful of trouble, a fistful of pain, a fistful of anything that tries to withstand you in your process of growing and trying to get to know yourself and better yourself for purpose and define yourself as higher purpose. You know, we can get caught up in the things around us and not recognize our own purpose because we're so dark closed into what's going on in our situation that we forget our actually divine purpose. So we have a fistful of tears, a fistful of prayers, and a fistful of pain. We have fistful of hurt, heartbreaks, but nobody actually used their fistful of prayers to help them get through. So
Maxwell said it best. You know he got a song called Fistfull of
Oh.
Tears. Yes, baby, that's my song. All right, I got another question. What inspired you to start a podcast?
Okay. So first and foremost, it was my idea to write a book, and I promised my son to tell our story about domestic violence when he got old enough to read. So me publishing my first book last year was like putting a face to my writing of my spiritual blog as well. And then everybody wanted to, they was like, they read the blog, but then they like, oh, we want to hear you. So I was like, hear me? How you going to hear me? So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a voice. And I decided to do the research on podcasts and everything and see how it does audio-wise and pick the best platform to host from. And that's how I went forward from it. May 15th, I took off running with it.
That's cool. And don't forget you need to give me my book autograph too. Thank you.
Okay.
She never autographed mine too.
I don't even have
had to
Oh,
like
that's terrible.
5 months.
That is terrible. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Jody, do better. Okay. Wait, hold on. I gotta take a sip. It's kind of dry. Okay. Okay. Next. So let's talk about your first episode.
First episode was
Mhm.
episode 2,
Okay.
and that was actually
Take a seat.
I guess.
Get some shining.
that was have patience to wait, right?
I don't have that. Please. Ooh.
You don't have patience to wait. Yeah, so that was a quick message to inspire someone that, we're always trying to get to the bottom of the barrel before we get through the process. When we don't realize that the process is something we actually need, we actually learn
To go
from
through
it.
it.
Sometimes you need that process. That's your time
Right.
to heal, to grow, to learn. But we look at it as troubling. We like, dang, man, I'm ready to get up out of here. Like, I've been here too long. But you have to have the patience to wait. Everything that's rushed is not always good. It's not always best for you. So when you wait and you have the patience, it comes out better. It's always for your good, not your bad.
That's true. Can we get an amen from the brothers? Is that true?
Yeah, it is.
I gotta get God to pray on that with me because I don't have patience. That's something, and I know patience is the virtue. I like to get at it. Get. I don't know if that's the go getter in me because New York is already like I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sometimes I try and sit back when I see I'm going the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, oh, I'm about to. Can I curse? Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is raw truth.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to fuck up.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't give her the gold. Give her a limelight, not the green.
I know, right? So, and then I have to pull back and then drop on my knees and be like, okay, God, lead me because I don't want to mess up. Because I've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still at that stage where I'm like, okay, I have the patience, but I don't like to kick it in. Just be like, all right, I'm going to do me. And then when I want to kick the patience in, I kick the patience in.
And it be at the last minute.
Yeah.
And you done messed up already.
All the way up. It's okay, though. It's okay.
It's okay, girl.
Because God got me.
Yeah,
He
as
got
long
you.
as you know and you acknowledge you good. You good. See, now you know what you need to work on. See?
Girl, I know. All right. These headphones ain't staying on, though.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look cute. Okay. Oh, your handwriting. What was the most played platform for that one?
Spotify.
Okay. All right. Are we alive?
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Go, of course.
Okay.
Do you, boo?
Yes, you can join in.
All right, you said Spotify is the number one that's trending right now, but what did you start off at? What was your platform before Spotify?
Anchor. And that was the one that was the actual host.
Yeah, she was.
So Anchor was actually my first platform and hosting platform to take off. But when I got the spread from Spotify and the link sent in to Spotify for the listeners that actually listen to Spotify, then it became my biggest platform because now you have iHeartRadio, you got Google Podcasts, you got Apple Podcasts. So Spotify is my top one still today.
All right. Before I ask the next question, we got a little technical difficulties. They say they can't see you on live. They say they don't see you. So one of my friends follow you.
They can't see me. Y'all can't see me.
Facebook? Are we on Facebook Live?
Yeah, we right there.
Okay.
Should I just turn it?
Oh, she said she's watching. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Yeah, whatever. Next. All right.
You know what? We're going to mix this up.
Yeah, please do some stuff. Because y'all all killing me.
Slide this right here.
Slide to the left.
And then we're going to go into some questions from the audience.
Okay.
And this is for everybody. But I want to know how y'all think, how y'all feel. And this is from Tammy, Orange Park, Florida. What advice would you give another entrepreneur like yourself just starting out from the bottom like you?
Don't be scared.
Okay.
It's the first thing.
Okay.
Take chances, bet on yourself. Just have a plan, you know. And nothing will ever work without a plan.
Right.
Just set it off. Set a timetable, schedule, whatever you need. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be serious about it. It's not something that you can just, I want to work a little bit one day. No, you got to be dedicated to what you want to do.
Do your research. Ask your mind.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I take my hat off to all of y'all. I'm not an entrepreneur, but I'm a go-getter.
Okay. That's close. You got the mindset.
I see what I want.
You at the Head Start line.
Right, and I'm going to go get it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go get it.
Okay, so Trina from Flint, Michigan. How do you tell someone you like that the vibe is not good in public, but good at home? Do they just stay home and not go with you anywhere?
Well, I don't understand that question.
I'm reading it like, okay, she asks, okay, what if you're in public with somebody and the vibe is off? It's not tuning in, it's not clicking with you guys. But at home, y'all clicking, y'all talking, y'all communicating and everything. But in public, it's off. It's going to be an argument or something.
Because the comments on the show, she can't see us.
They say they can't hear us.
They can't.
No.
Can't hear us.
Or nor see us, no.
Well, the comments.
Because the comments, the comments is blocking us. My sister said
So can you turn
that.
the comments off like on IG?
This on Facebook.
Okay.
Ask them, can they see? Okay.
You're going to have to aim the camera down.
Like, yes, so they can see all four of us.
Oh.
Yes, you see? Hit her. Let me see if my sister sees us.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Get into this.
see me? Do you smell me? And do you hear me?
So what you think, Tiffany?
What's that?
Wait, repeat that whole thing. Remember we was having technical difficulties.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
So, fun. Fun.
She talking about son. She got that Brooklyn in her now. She been hanging around me too long. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Trina from Flint, Michigan wants to know, how do you tell someone you like them how do you tell someone you like that the vibe is not good in public, but at home
It's
good? So do they stay at home and not go with you anywhere?
Oh no. We gotta get it together. Go ahead, boo.
I feel like you got to be honest. I mean, if you really like them, they should understand that. And it's up to them if they're going to stick around for that.
That's true too.
I said maybe they got like social anxiety. Maybe they don't like being out in crowds and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you can't just just try to well he's not vibing with me in public, so maybe he's not the right one for me. Just have that good discussion with them. You know what I mean?
And everybody's not you, so they're not gonna act like you gonna act in public.
That's true too. But I feel like you gotta have that. If we meet each other and we vibe it, if we could vibe at home, you gotta know how I act outside in public. So if you're not a social person, we really need to sit down and have that talk, because if I'm a social person, I'm gonna want to take you. I'm not gonna sit down. I'm not gonna be like, okay, baby, I'll see you when I come back. That's not gonna work.
She's not the quiet.
That's not gonna work. But I am the type that I can get you to be that. I'm serious, because I'm a people person. So you may be quiet, but I'm gonna open you up. I'm gonna open you up.
Wow, woman in America. What?
I can't deal with you.
Okay, so Brianna from Gastonia, North Carolina. When is it a good time to address a disagreement after it's been squashed, but you think of other points to say?
Jot those other points, because I mean, you don't want to keep adding on to fuel to the fire. If you already solved it, you shouldn't bring up an issue that has already been solved. Because basically, we're ripping up on that wound again, and you're just trying to start something.
Okay. Can you marry me?
Oh my God.
No, I am the worst at that, and I'm gonna be so real with you. I see that's the lessons I've learned, and that's the patience that I didn't have.
I'm gonna say women are demographic in our age.
Okay.
They have that issue of not squashing it.
That's what I'm
I would agree with you on that.
It's temporary, and then later on, it's like, hey, I forgot about this. Now we gotta go right back through it.
Yes, because we didn't want to mention that when we were arguing. You feel me? And then you done got your point across. I done got my point across. But now I'm like, wait, I done went to bed. We done made love, but I'm still mad because something done came up.
Yeah, I see y'all. I get all the dings, but we can't answer right now.
But can they hear
we
us?
We got y'all. Trust me.
Can they hear us? I'm asking my sister. She didn't answer.
Okay, Jessie from Atlanta, Georgia. What was the longest relationship and how did it end?
Oh, wow.
And would you change one thing about you now since then?
You asking everybody? Or
yes, I want to know what y'all think.
I think, Jody, you want to start off first, Jody?
Please, Jody. Jody, don't be shy.
I was hoping I wouldn't be first.
Come on, Jody.
So for me, it's been 10, almost 11 years. Simply ended. Honestly, it should have ended 3 years prior. Just small stuff wouldn't change. If you're not feeling love and you're feeling like you're just there, you can't keep going. So
I agree.
Oh, wow.
I agree. It gets to a point to where you're numbing yourself to stay.
Can I ask him a question?
He said,
Go ahead.
So he said it should have ended, and some people might want to know your response to this. You said it should have ended 3 years prior. What kept you in that relationship for 3 more years?
The 7 years prior, hoping that my emotions and my feelings would get across to him.
Wow.
So yeah. So pull this closer.
Yes, that's what they're saying. We need to pull it closer. It's gonna fall. Oh, take your time. Take your time.
It's gonna fall, y'all.
Take your time.
It's wiggly.
Come on, Jody, you can do it. Jody, you can do it. Go, Jody. Go, Jody.
Is that good now? Or a little bit closer?
Well, a little bit more, I guess. I don't know.
Please don't fall. Please don't fall.
Look at Trina Wood. I see you, girl.
Yeah. All right.
I'm glad y'all got this side of me close. This was my good eyelashes.
Don't tell them now. At least you ain't looking like Michael Jackson. I didn't like that. You look good.
Thank you, girl.
You want to answer next? Yeah.
Mine's just real emotional, so I want you to go next.
Okay,
go ahead.
I knew it. Oh, my baby.
I can't. Go ahead.
Yeah, mine was 2 years.
Wow.
It was, my prior relationship.
My sister said better.
The question was what made me stay in too long?
Yes. What was your longest relationship and how did it end? And would you change one thing about you now?
I
Then?
answer that part.
Okay. Do you want to go back and answer?
So would you change one thing?
One thing I would change about myself is trying to learning how to basically get my emotions across in a better way. Instead of being so
Oh my God! Can we hear him?
Yeah.
Dang! Oh my God! You're gonna make me cry. All right, go ahead.
I think a lot of men struggle with that. Actually, is how to relay your emotions in a way that can affect the relationship in a positive way.
I have a theory on that, by the way. I'm gonna wait in between
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Okay. My longest relationship was 2 years. It ended bad, obviously, because I'm not with that person anymore. One thing I would change in that relationship is don't ignore the red flags.
Oh
Because
gosh!
they will show up.
Okay.
All the
early in a
time.
relationship.
Yeah.
Very early in a relationship. And if you
Okay.
choose to ignore those red flags, it's just only going to get worse. It's going to keep just
That's
piling
true.
on, piling on.
Yep.
That's true.
Oh, it's my go. Oh
All right.
God. Okay, so mine's is bittersweet. I was in a relationship for 8 years, and I came out with 2 beautiful kids out of it. Long story short, I saw red flags. I saw a lot of red flags, but I was already emotionally in it. Like, that was my heart. That was my ride or die. Right, right. So it was like, okay, should I leave? Should I go? Should I leave? Should I go? I got my family talking about, oh, not messing with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in love. You feel what I'm saying? But then when I fell back from him, it's when I felt like, okay, my family wanted to start messing with me. But then I was like, I can't get enough of him. So I had went back. So honestly, the long story short, to break that up, when I finally got the chance to leave and I left, I felt a little guilt trip because, God rest his soul, he passed away. And up to this day, I feel like if we had got the way to communicate much better, we would have been a power couple.
Oh,
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
We would have been a power couple. I remember we was riding from Virginia College. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But
and that's why I say my theory. That's why I want to bring it up in between questions, because I think it relates to everybody's relationship.
Okay.
Y'all ready for it?
Go ahead. What I was gonna say, long story short, he's rest in peace. And what I learned from it is to have that patience, like you said, and come across. It's not always about your opinion. Mm-hmm. You need to think how the other person feels. Right. And I never could get that. He always used to say that, and I never could get that.
I used to say that too.
And I used to be like, you get on my damn nerves.
It's all about me.
Right.
You need to hear me.
Right. I gave you 2 kids. You gonna hear me.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But I'm moving forward. I am going to do that patience and take in consideration of what you said. And I'm gonna just, cause I'm a fireburst. I just anybody that gets me, they gonna be like, oh my gosh, she is too much, but I love her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait. Come on, guys, hurry up. All right, go ahead, Jody. Jody got the mic.
All right, so my theory is age range 25 to 30. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Age range what? I don't discriminate. What you talking about?
No, just listen. Age range 25 to 30. Just keep that in mind. It don't apply to everybody, because some happens before, some happens after. The men side of it, we don't learn how to properly communicate our emotions until that age.
That's true.
The reason why is because when we're younger, we are told, no, you can't do this. You can't do that. You got to man up. You got to toughen up. So really the only emotions we show prior to that age range are being happy or being upset. That's it.
Oh my God, you broke that down good.
So, of course, some guys don't learn until way after 30. Mm-hmm. Some of it get it before 30, before 25. So, now the women's side of it.
We got it.
Now, I hope y'all listen up. I hope they can hear me.
Okay. They can hear you, Jody.
So, the women's side of it, I feel like they don't learn how to properly communicate with men until that age range. Okay. The reason I say that is because the first man that a girl is supposed to fall in love with is their dad.
Yes.
What happens when they become teenagers? And the dad is no longer giving them what they want.
The love, right.
That's true.
So they start rebelling. They start talking crazy to their dad. And it's a habit that's carried over until they're older. Usually in 25, 30 age range. Don't get me wrong, because there's some women out there that's past 30.
All the time. She's 30. And she has a real bad debt with my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's some out there past 30, and they're still acting like they're teenagers.
But you got to treat them, but what you was, going back to what you were saying, you said their dads gave them everything when they were young. Mm-hmm. So, of course, that was daddy being the king, giving the princess something, right? Because that's what fathers do to girls, right? Mm-hmm. Now, she's a grown adult. The king, which is her man, supposed to treat her like a queen. Mm-hmm.
But you can't expect a man to treat you like he's your dad, because he's not your dad.
And what about the ones that dad wasn't there? And now they're being rebellious at 30 and plus.
Right. That's true. Well, he don't have to treat him like the dad. He could treat them like the zaddy. I'm going to need y'all to know the difference.
Lord.
I'm going to need you to know the difference.
Take a sip on that one.
Yeah, I know, right?
Another one. The difference.
I got a
Okay.
follow-up question.
Okay.
Well, just for flexibility. Do you think communication is the number one thing? Because you can communicate all day, but
Yes.
if you're not understanding one another,
Mm-hmm.
is that more important? Comprehension is that more important than actual communication? Because you can communicate all day, but if you're not understanding each other, understanding each other's feelings and emotions, and
Ooh, you
stuff,
get
you're
on my
not
nerves.
gonna
I'm
go.
about to walk out because you hit me.
It depends
That's
on
it.
what type of communication you're talking about.
Mm.
If both
That's
people
true.
are talking at the same time, nobody's listening.
Exactly.
So
So it's listening, communicating, understanding.
exactly.
There you go.
Okay.
There's the 3 keys right there.
All right. Terry from Dula,
Text me
Georgia,
those.
wants to know why or what reasons would you call your significant other by the first name basis? I call mine when I'm mad, or if I have an attitude, I'm like,
I've had that recently. 'Cause she would always call me Joe. And to call me by my actual government name, it's almost like you call me a bitch, honestly.
Why? Because she said Joe?
because you're not used to it.
Right. So,
yeah, okay.
like my actual government name is Joseph.
Okay.
My mom named me that. She got it from the Bible.
Biblical name, yeah.
Right. So
I love
only
it.
my family and like business related stuff, they call me Joseph. So when someone I'm cool with or that I've known for years call me that, I'm like, hold up now, what you trying to say?
I know, I'm not bait no more. Like what?
We about to fight. Like what's going on?
Like what I do.
Well, you only get babe when you acting right. When you got that get right juice. You get daddy.
Let me get her covered.
You get daddy when you always on point. See, I'm gonna call you daddy all day. All day if you always on point. But you gonna get Joseph.
Hold up the face though.
You gonna get Joseph when you get out of line. All right? Let's turn that around. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
You like it like this hot.
Jaquita from Destin, Florida, and she actually asked this question on season 3, episode 2.
I can't believe I would.
How do you deal with being okay with being single if you're the reason why you're single?
Oh God, I gotta leave.
Like it's your fault why you're single. How do you deal with that?
Wow, that's a tough
How do you
one.
deal with being single because you're the reason why you're single?
Yes.
How can you be the reason?
Okay.
It gotta be
It's more like
if you cheat.
It's not. It's
Yes.
not. It's not about. Well, you
It's
gotta.
not just
well,
cheating.
obviously, if you're okay with being single because you're doing people wrong, then that's something that you gotta address for yourself,
Right,
because that's not
different.
healthy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if you're
Right.
okay with being single and with because you ruin relationships because you're the cause of that, then that's something that you gotta work on within yourself, because that's not that's not a good reason to be single.
I feel like that's a vague question though, because
yeah,
you can be
I kinda felt that
single,
too.
and it could be your fault that you're single if you choose to end the relationship because it's not healthy for you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
So
That's true.
it needs like a
Both ways.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, I was kind of lost on that one because I'm single. I ain't want to be single. Yeah, every day. I be like, God,
he hate me this much.
I'm not used to this. Because, you know, when you grow up in a 2-family household, that's all you know. And I say this to my best friend all the time. She was like,
I'm your best friend. What are you talking
well,
about?
you from New York.
Okay.
Hello. I got a best friend from New York. You my best friend out here. Duh. So she be like, bitch. I gotta say that. She be like, you act like you can't be without a man. I'm like, you're not getting it. It's not that I cannot be without a man, because I'm a boss.
Yes.
I handle my own.
Yeah.
You feel me? My mother made sure she told me that before she went 6 feet under the grave. God rest her soul. But I'm so used to being with a significant other that I'm like, okay, I feel voided. I do. I do. I feel, I don't want to say left out, because I'm always the center of attention. You know, I make sure I be the center of attention. I don't want to say left out. I just feel like I have a void.
I got a comment on that though.
Okay.
All right, so
Tell
I
me.
feel like
help me out.
everyone should go through therapy first off, counseling or whatever.
Okay.
I've gone recently.
I second that.
Me too.
And
I went.
I did too. Remember, I had to.
I did too.
And one thing that she told me was, instead of asking what a woman brings to the table, I am the table. So what are you bringing as far as like decoration?
Wait, you're the table.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
So
So
remember,
we're decorating the table.
right. Remember, you're the table. They're bringing just decorations to it.
So that's vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the table.
Yeah.
But men can't decorate, so we got to do that over. That's not going to work at all.
They can decorate one piece at a time. Mhm. So Shamika from Fayetteville, North Carolina, wants to know, why would a woman or a man lower their standards? If they do, what would be a reason if they did?
You want to take on that one first?
Please, man, I got to marinate
Who
on
want
that.
to take
Go
on
ahead.
that?
I'll take it on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jody.
Okay, Jody. Jody is on it.
Dropping a bomb.
my
today.
thing is-
Boom.
Ooh.
Well, first off, I
Say
wonder.
daddy for one time. Zaddy.
I wonder, like, what do they mean by standards? Because is your standards on how they look, standards on how they act, standards on, you know, their lifestyle, what they bring to the table, whatever.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I guess for time being, let's say
In general.
in general. Let's
Yeah.
just say in general.
Any standard.
okay, well, you know, let's just narrow it down to looks then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, someone might not. Okay, so I'm a prototypical Southern man. We like big hips and big booties.
Okay.
But I've had women that caught my eyes that were top heavy. No hips, no ass, nothing. But it's with their beauty and their personality. Like, if we vibe well, screw it.
Right.
Like, I can deal
Right.
with that.
That's true.
Right.
The vibes are good.
That's
Like,
true. Right.
it
So I
means
think
a lot.
there should be some emphasis on physical attraction.
Of course.
It shouldn't be all physical attraction.
Right.
Yeah.
It should be a balance of everything.
Yes. Ooh, he hit that on the knot.
Because
Because-
nobody,
Mm.
everybody has a
Perfect.
checklist.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Nobody's gonna check everybody.
Every box.
That's
Exactly.
true. Because you're not perfect. Because
Right.
only God is.
Ooh, I like the way you
And
say
build a
his
bear
name.
only
Look
works
at
on stuffed
God.
animals.
Ooh.
Excuse me?
He said, build a barrel and work some stuff.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like that one. That's cute. And to clarify on that one, it's like, okay, you can't go outside. You know what you like. Everybody know what they like. So, boom. I might see a butt ugly guy in the club, right? But he got a banging physique. What you think I'm going to do?
Well, first of all, it's gonna be dark.
Okay.
Oh,
And drinking.
you won't know yet.
And drinking.
That's
I
true.
know, right? So you won't know yet. But when the lights go on,
You'll know in the morning.
And then I'm going to be like, oh, Lord. All right, I'll hit you later.
but what if it was good?
What was good?
You ain't
After
you
the dark.
Come on now.
We
we
wrong. We wrong.
We are. We
Well,
catch him
guess
quick.
what? He gonna be my after dark type
With
of
a
guy.
paper bag in the daytime. Oh, stay at home. I go get it.
I got you. You stay in the house
Oh, that's
and
the first
have
question
that
I like.
ready.
So Laura from Dallas, Texas wants to know, how do you go on with other people you meet later on in life after losing the love of your life? Do you not forget them ever?
Why are you doing this?
Laura did this. Why are you doing this to my friend?
You can never fully
But-
move on from someone because you had that attachment to them. You know, you've been with them, especially if you guys were in love, and
Memory.
God forbid they passed away. You're still always gonna have that. But
What else, too?
but don't let that stop you from enjoying the rest of your life.
Ooh,
Because
Exactly.
that man or that woman wants you to be happy. You know what I
right.
mean? Especially if it was a situation where, you know, you guys were in love and they passed away. They would want you to continue your life and not just be in sorrow because they passed away.
Not to mention, I feel like everybody comes in seasons or different
Ooh.
chapters of your life.
Jody,
That's true.
So,
say it again, Jody.
So it's not like you have just one set love for your life.
Not one
We're,
soulmate.
we're not geese.
That's true.
You know, geese made for life. They're not going anywhere.
I like
So that's the way I look at it.
You just imagine how many people were grown. You know, when I'm 30, how many people you've dated in your life. That wasn't just one person that you was attracted to. You know what I mean?
Of course
There's
not,
always
but
going to
yeah.
be someone
Always
else
that
out there that
special,
you can be
though.
attracted to. And I mean, we're human beings. There's only so many different makeups that people can have. People can have the same personality. So just because you're not with that person doesn't mean you can't find that same personality to make you
Now, I
that
got a
made you
follow-up
feel
question to
the
all
same
this
way.
stuff. So with that being said,
Come on, Jody.
All right,
do you
Jody.
believe that people, just human beings in general, can be with one person.
What?
You talk about
Attracted to or
monogamous?
just be with?
Yes.
No, wait. Wait. Let me get the question correct. Attracted to or be with another person, like Akon.
Okay, so monogamous, or you talking about poly? Like you talk about throwing.
I'm saying, do you feel like people in general, our human nature, do you feel like we can be monogamous or polyamorous?
I think as a man, I think even if you're in a relationship, it's for a man, it's something for a man to control that urge, because we're men, we like to conquer. That's what we are about. We are about that. You know what I mean? So us being attracted, we could be with someone and we could see someone, we could be attracted to them, but it takes a lot to control that, to harness that, be like, you know what, I'm attracted to that female, but I'm not gonna do that. Is it hard to not do that? Yes, of course. Men struggle with that every day. But
yes, every day, because I'm about to say,
I mean, we do too, but I think it's more harder for you guys. We do too, but I think it's more harder.
It's very harder for y'all. But you know what? Speaking of that, as a woman perspective, we have that itch.
You want to be scratched
all day,
tangled up,
and it's crazy because I've always, when I was young, not young, but you know, in my younger days, I always felt that men were more, you know, always wanted it than women. But as we got bigger
and learned ourselves,
and I feel like we have a very high sex drive.
If
you
know
do
ourselves,
not know, women have a very, let me say it again, women, which we know, have a very high sex drive.
Yes.
And these men be like, well, God damn, I thought I was.
Yeah.
That's because it flip-flops.
It does.
We start off younger as men, where our sex drives are high.
Oh, so we trying to catch up to y'all? That's what you're trying to say?
No, it flips. Like, ours gets smaller.
Y'all
get bigger.
Because I'm sitting there like, look,
I'm
ready to
catch up, like, right now.
I'll also say, in the beginning of a relationship,
in the beginning,
we are going to be like, you know what I mean? Men just going to be like on it.
Yes, because it's fresh.
Let's say, like, yeah, of course. So when as men, we like, if you're in a relationship for a long period of time, we're going to slow down because
we're used to it.
We're used to it.
No, I'm going to need you to pick up the pieces.
I know. Drop it
pick
off.
up the pieces.
What? It's
But
now.
that being said, though, y'all want us to pick up pieces. Y'all got to initiate it more.
Right.
Okay, I can agree with that because I'm not an initiator.
Okay.
Not only that, but men don't per se like foreplay. Sometimes y'all want it all the time with foreplay. Switch it up. Just take it.
Okay.
Like, let's get straight to the point.
I could dig that because I'm not an initiator, so that's something I can't work on.
Well, I can teach you, because what kind of woman is that? Because I don't always want foreplay.
I
want a quickie before I go to work.
It's an introvert. That's what she is. She's scared of rejection.
I want a quickie before I put on them scrubs. I even want you to come on my lunch break and hook me up.
Oh, you gonna find you one. I'm pretty sure somebody out there listening right now.
No, because that's the spice. That's what brings this, especially when you've been in a relationship for so long.
Yeah,
that's what brings spice to the relationship. So my man ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you
make
him feel desired.
Yeah,
I want you.
Feel like he wanted, because it's women out there that's making him feel like that all the time.
I want you. Jody, I can't want you. Right.
Okay, Bernice from Jacksonville, Florida. She wants to know, why is online dating so popular than face-to-face meetings?
Girl, bye. That ain't popular. Who told her that?
It is popular.
That's a scam. We getting catfish. I
haven't been catfish yet.
Look, I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm very biased about it.
I think it's very popular because people are scared of rejection. Yes. Me, as an introvert, I'm not going to be like, oh, he cute, girl, let me go holler. No, I'm wait till he come over here with my fruits and vegetables and just be like, if he do, he do. If he don't, he don't. Oh, well, I'll catch him in the future. Like, I'm not that type.
I don't know. I'm old school. I can't. And I tried it, y'all. I tried it. That's what I said. I don't understand why I'm still single.
Because you can't tell me no to my face. And you think you're going to get away with it? I'll follow you out the store. But I tried it. It's not going to. I feel like people online, you know, I want to know why you online. I'm looking for love, right? But that don't necessarily mean he's looking for love. You know what I'm saying? True, that's true. You got to distinguish from which is real,
right.
Which is not.
Right.
But it's all about the conversation.
In there.
Exactly.
You let them know.
That's full of it because the people put the bio. Then when you start talking,
Okay, the bio
then they be
can
like,
be
"Oh,
BS.
I just want to meet you."
But what about the
and then when they
conversation?
meet you, "Oh, I just want to fuck you." And then when they don't always get a chance to fuck. So.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's true.
Because you ain't getting my goodies if you're not trying to ring this.
Are
Okay.
you celibate?
Just can you shush?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's go back to the
You're
question.
going.
Okay.
All right. So the question was online dating, and why is that more popular now?
Mhm.
Okay, I think it's more popular now
He said,
because.
"Question, you're a strong man, man." Because that just turned me on. Let's get to the
We have a connection
question.
over here.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
He shut me up. He's like, "Let's get to the question."
All right, so I think online dating now is more popular because people don't have time nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like it's easy. Like y'all were saying, you don't have to face the rejection up front.
Mhm.
You can easily put on your bio what you're looking for, and distinguish from that. You know, you can judge from the conversation. You know, and then from there you can start your dating and stuff like that. So I guess it's just more easier. People feel more comfortable doing that, and you don't have to actually look around. You know what I mean? Because the profiles are already there. You know what I mean? You can see this. You know what I mean? You can see who you're attracted to and stuff like that. So I think that's why.
Plus, it's not face to face. So
Right.
when
Exactly.
you're having these conversations, you don't have to look at their face and like,
Right.
why are they looking like that? I'm asking them.
Right, but you're eventually going to meet them face to face.
Right.
But if the conversation's good prior to, it makes you want to.
Exactly.
Right.
face to
Exactly.
face.
It always
It
does.
now
then.
weeds out. You know.
So you be
if
meeting too early. That's why.
I don't mean
You gotta give it at least 48 hours in the conversation.
That's the
Like,
mean
dang.
one, though.
I don't even get a number out in 24 hours. Like, no, you gotta
That's
wait.
the mean one. I'll be like, get to the point, my man. Let me see your chest. Do you got a job?
Okay, so JJ from Miami, Florida wants to know, do you move around someone with different desires than you? Or do you continue to see them, be with them?
What do you mean?
Basically,
Travel?
leave them alone.
Yeah. So, say for instance, if my desires are to, own a home in the next 2 years, or to have another child and to be, more stable with
And that's
so
not what they
if
want.
that's not what he desires, do you stay with them or you move on?
It's a red flag.
Exactly.
That's
I
the flag.
think so too.
That's the flag. But it can also be, like I said, it depends, because when you fall in love with that person, you be like, okay, I want one, she don't want one, but damn. And then after, it's gonna happen.
So you're willing to
No.
give up
He
yourself?
said the question was at the beginning of the relationship.
At the beginning.
So
at the
before
beginning of the
Yes.
relationship, before you even
Like, what are
even
you looking
serious with
for?
them, if you're having a discussion with them and they say, you know what, in 2 years, I see myself married with kids and getting a house.
Exactly.
How would you?
Oh yeah,
react to
I'll
that?
move on because I've learned that lesson. Now I know if that's not what I want.
Okay.
I'm ready to travel. I want D every day, all the time, and I want a ring, and that's it. Because I can't give you no more kids. That's it.
Oh,
So if you're not on the same page as me,
well,
I'll
I
just
can
move
give
on.
you more kids.
I feel like we're grown, so we're not willing to settle anymore.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the age
I
group
want a
you were
stallion.
Right.
That's my next husband. I really want a stallion.
No wall.
Do y'all know what's the definition of?
Girl, I'm trying to get Mark Wahlberg. Is he over there? Girl, I
need a
swerve. Like boosting with him. Like.
Yeah, I
So are
gotta
you
have my
willing
checklist.
to?
No.
No.
I
wouldn't. Like,
answered for him,
no.
If someone told me, if their aspirations and their desires doesn't match up with what I see myself in 5 years, I'm not gonna waste my time with that person, because you're basically gonna be wasting your time, because that person already has in their head what they want to do. So why are you settling? You know what I mean? You got to live your life. You got to just strive for what you want. You got to have your own aspirations of what you want to do. If you're settling for someone else's ambition and someone else's dreams, then you're selling yourself short, because when that relationship ends, let's say y'all together for the next 2 years, if something falls through, what that person has done what they wanted to do, but did you do what you wanted to do?
Exactly. That's where you lose yourself.
Exactly.
And that's when I had to walk away. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I've been through a lot of lessons.
I'm so happy for you. She was
These
so
little-
immature in college.
I sure was.
She was late for class.
Hello, don't be telling my business.
Girl.
But I graduated.
Hey, and
And
we
what-
passed with the licenses.
And what am I? I'm getting that bag. I'm getting that bag.
All right now.
But yeah, I've learned my lessons. Like those lessons was very hard for me because it took a lot. Because like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, I don't have my mom, you know what I'm saying? So I had to look at other people like, okay, hey sis, what would you think? Hey best friend, what would you think? But sometimes their views is not the best views. A mom view is always going to be the best view.
And my view wasn't a good view, but she was like, Chrissy, what should I do? Chrissy, boo, what should I do? I'm like, girl, do what you want to do.
Exactly.
You know,
like,
but she was that person to be open, and she was just like free spirited. So I knew she wasn't gonna listen to me. I'm like, this girl, you older than me. You ain't gonna listen to me. So, do what you want to do. She's like, Chrissy, boo, what should I do? Like,
right. But my baby girl is here. If I listen to you, she would have asked.
you know what? I'm happy though. You know what?
I'm for a reason.
I'm
You
so
feel what
happy
I'm
though
saying?
because
It was for a reason.
first of all, I knew it was too far. I had already knew that.
I didn't know. I'm trying to take my test.
Yeah, I can look at
All
your
right,
face.
y'all. So let's bring y'all in. I was pregnant. When we was gonna take my NHA test, you know, real quick, and I didn't want to have the child, and she kept saying, "Do what you want to do," and I'm like, "I'm coming for you for advice." Like I didn't want to have the child.
Well, I didn't believe in abortions at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm a mom, you know, you're a mom. You know,
Yes.
why would you? You know,
Right.
you're with a man, you know, he's the same father. But I was younger than her, so I was like, girl, she ain't gonna listen to me. Like, she gonna do what she wanna do. That's Tiffany. Like,
But Maddie's here. Ooh.
I'm happy.
Okay. All right, let's get off of that.
Oh, okay. Well, moving right along. Chelsea from San Francisco. What's up, 49ers?
Okay.
All right.
Hot.
Oh,
All
Raven.
right.
It's
getting hot in here.
over there.
I'm about to take off my jacket.
What is one reason a single parent or mom wouldn't allow the person or people they're dating to meet their kids? What's one good reason?
Come on, Jody.
Be a bad influence.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never had
and on
that.
that comment on bad influence, do you think, let's say you're dating a female with kids, and they say, I think you might be a bad influence. Do you think she should spend time with you outside? You know what I mean? Dating, and how long do you think y'all should be dating before she introduced the kids?
Oh, that's
Okay,
a question
so-
from Sandra. So you got two in one right there.
So I jumped the gun.
Yeah, no, you got two in one. That's
I have a
good.
rule.
But why? Wait,
myself.
hold on. Why did you say you think they'll be a bad influence? Then why are they dating them?
I was about to get to
Pull
that.
this off for me.
I was about to get to
My
the stuff.
jacket. I'm getting hot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to strip. All right, now. I'm getting hot.
So I have a daughter. My rule
Aw.
is 8 months to a year before she ever meets whoever I'm dating.
That's not bad.
That's a good length of time.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
good.
So I
For
get to
a
know that
man,
person.
though.
Yeah.
So
For a man.
basically, we're all grown. So
Okay.
if you have kids, you're not trying to waste time just dating. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's going for the long term. He's saying 8 to 12 months.
Mhm.
8
That's
to 12
what's
months.
up.
Yeah.
So in that
He's a keeper.
time, I'm gonna know whether or not they're
Exactly.
good enough to be around my daughter.
That's
Right.
true.
That's true.
So we not getting all the way to 8 months, and then I'm like, oh, this not gonna work.
Got you.
Like after a month, I should.
You should already have an
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
So if you're not good enough to meet her, we ain't dating. Like,
Right.
See what I'm saying? That's true.
That's how you gotta be though. 'Cause it's-
Exactly.
How do you feel about people who, let's say,
Wait,
she
wait,
feels.
hold on. To say that, or you could just sneak them in early in the morning and let them leave, because you ain't seen my kids.
Oh, I like it that
See
way.
you later.
I never thought
but see,
that way.
Same time
that's
at
kinda
4 a.m.?
That's kind of blocking you from somebody that could be there long term because you spend time with them.
God damn it.
I'm just saying.
God
But
damn
what
it.
if they just want the fun part? They just want the fun
That's
mom.
true.
Well, you need to set that boundary. Then you need to have arranged time.
Mm-hmm.
So they got that arrangement.
Okay, well, I understand that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Go ahead. Sorry.
how
Jimmy.
do you feel about let's say you have kids,
Mhm.
so with your
We didn't have kids.
Yeah. So the woman you had kids with, would that cause an issue? Is that something that also is in consideration? Do you consider that?
Are you talking about the baby mom?
Yes, the baby mom. Is that something that you consider too? Like, okay, I'm gonna wait this amount of time out of respect for her, or is this something that you do, or does she have no say?
So you're referring to the timeline?
Yes.
The timeline is more or less for my daughter.
Okay.
Come on, Jody, say it again.
But at the same time, it gives me enough time to see what kind of person that person is, because I already know how my ex is.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how she's gonna react.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter if it's Mother Teresa. Like, she's still
an ex always gonna be like that,
she's
especially
still
if
gonna
that's the
have
mother of your child.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can't really take her feelings into account.
Right.
I just got to make sure that they're gonna do my daughter right, which is in
Yes.
turn gonna leave her happy too.
Yes.
So that's all that really matters.
Okay.
All right now.
It's about the kids.
You see
Now,
you see
I'm
these
sorry.
facts,
One last
Chrissy?
question.
Okay, come on.
And all y'all can answer this because I don't have kids.
This what we here for.
So I'm asking y'all advice. So, okay. I just forgot the question, y'all. Sorry.
Take it.
But yeah, okay.
All right.
So, yeah, give me a second because I did.
Take another sip. Take another sip.
I think
I'm gonna drink to that too. Like, no.
Yeah. All right. Did you remember it?
Now you're having kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how you going on dates with, or do you ever go on dates with the kids? Like, do you ever and how many times do you ever get them involved in any like outings or anything like that, or is that strictly okay? We're just dating. And also, do you date just simply for yourself? Because a lot of parents, when they have kids, they date simply because, okay, I'm attracted to this person. Mm-hmm. Or do you consider the person that you're dating, okay, my child is going to be involved with this person also? So so do you think, you know what I mean? Like, do you take it to that level?
Okay.
You answer, and then I'm going to answer from a woman perspective.
Okay.
That is, I have four, so.
The first part of the question, I'm assuming that you're saying take them on the date.
Like amusement parks or whatever. Like, do
we go on
like
kid dates?
Kids dates, yeah.
No, because he just said that he's not going to see the kids until 8 to 9 months. Okay. That's a dub. Mm-hmm. Right. That's a New York slang. Dub, meaning negative.
Oh, yo, son.
Yes. But, and then answer the second one when he was like, are you just dating to, date because you feeling this chick?
My own satisfaction.
Right. And then when you ready to find your queen?
Right.
Let me stop. But I know.
I feel like it's really one and the same, because if I'm not being satisfied by this woman, why am I dating her?
Okay.
Damn, we said that the same thing.
Real.
Yeah. So as a woman perspective, it's more like what Jody said. I feel like it's harder for a woman because you don't want just nobody coming, because they have some smooth talkers to be like, oh, I'm there, I'm gonna be there for you and your kids, I got you, boo, we gonna make this forever. And then as soon as he get in the house,
switch up.
He acting like the guy from the Tyler Perry movie, Don't Want to Leave, taking over. Yeah, I remember that movie. What's that man's name? What's that movie? That new movie that just came out with Tyler Perry and the guy, he was staying in the bed. And he used her for her checks.
Why? The Fall of Grace.
The Fall of Grace. Come on, y'all. Come on, Facebook. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. They come through.
And I'm going to be like, okay, now I got to get my gap. Because I done trusted you. I done showed you my children.
Yeah.
The 8 months done already passed.
Yeah.
And you acting like him? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm about to kill you.
It's like, I follow this woman, Toya Cuts, from Atlanta. She's a dope barber, by the way. Y'all should watch her on IG. Yeah. So the day before Mother's Day, she had been dating this guy 7 months. He decides to tell her, I can't do this because you got kids.
Wow.
Well, she has one son, 7-year-old son. It's like,
did you know this prior, or
you had to. She every post she makes, if it's not about barber stuff, it's with her son.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this.
Wow.
So yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. And I'm very particular on who I date, and I do have a timeline because my kids are not looking for mommy to bring home a man right now. They're like, Mom, okay, well, you're dating him that's for you, not us.
Right.
You know, because once they had that failure with their biological father, it's like that next man got to beat up.
The on point.
You know what I'm saying?
The
like
on
it's
point.
harder for him to take over because they've already had so much disappointment. So now I'm like, now I got to figure out a timeline. Now I got to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna enjoy, and then I'm gonna let you know when it's safe to be like, okay, well, he's a good match. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Chrissy,
it's
nothing
harder for
wrong
women.
with you having your fun. Because you deserve it. You've been through so much. You've been in a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? You've been in a whole blue phone relationship thinking that this was it. And it just blew up in your face with your children. You feel what I'm saying to you?
2 marriages.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay?
2 kids, 2 marriages.
2 kids, like, 2 marriages, 1 marriage, and a disease. It's
like,
a
you
lot.
have to be Superman. To walk through the door and be like, mommy is dating, da-da-da. Because they're not gonna, they just be like, okay, mommy, you're going on a date, whatever.
Right.
Like, bring us some snacks back or something.
Right.
Like, I'd be like, okay.
Right.
Like.
And I'm glad you have it like that. So do I right now. Until God sends me my husband.
Lord.
Jesus.
Okay, so Cedric from New York.
Brooklyn. Oh, well, that's from Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh, I know my stuff. Okay.
Gang. He wants to know, what is a level or sign of maturity for dating, and how do you know you reached that point? How do you know you have matured for dating, rather, I guess? What is a sign that you reached level?
When you don't react the same way as you did in your previous relationships.
Okay.
Come on, say it again, boy.
Learning your lessons. I think that's
that's what it is.
Failed relationships shouldn't be just, okay, that was my ex, and you continue to do the same things that you did, because that's insanity. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. You got to change. You know what I mean?
That means you ain't learn your lesson.
Exactly.
Right. And if you're not learning your lesson, that means you're not taking accountability. Because everybody plays a part in the end of a relationship.
Exactly.
Even in your own hurt, you play a part in it. Like,
it's never the blame on just one person.
Exactly.
See, this is where I keep telling you, I learned the lesson, but I don't got the patience. This is the problem. Lord, I don't got the patience.
We're gonna work on that.
Please.
I got you.
Please. But I that is so true. It's like you're looking in the mirror.
And don't beat yourself up about the patience, because that's something that comes with time.
I know.
That's true.
How much time? I ain't getting no
It's different
younger.
for everybody.
It is.
Look, I ain't getting no younger.
Man, you got to 50.
Damn, 50. If I don't got nobody before 50.
You know, you gotta mature for you in the diapers again. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't be in diapers and not mature again.
God, geez.
But Weasel from Jacksonville, Florida, wants to know.
Weasel,
okay.
Don't do it. Sit down, Joe.
I thought I heard something totally different, but okay. Go ahead.
What's
Go ahead.
Wiener.
Weasel.
Don't do it, because they probably, okay.
Jacksonville, Florida, he wants to know, how do you date someone that does not find any self-fault in them, just in their past or recent relationships?
Then you don't need to date them.
She said it.
Because it's kind of like
you
they haven't moved on and acknowledged their
part
responsibility.
of it.
Right. That means
like
you just gonna always be right, and I'm not
and
about to
nobody's
have this
ever
headache.
wrong.
And that's a bad sign when someone, if you ask someone about their relationship experience, which is sometimes is not a good idea to bring up something, but if you do,
No,
let's say
I don't.
you do, and they're just like blaming everything on the ex. My ex did this, my ex did that,
Yeah.
my ex did this, and you don't say anything
about
no
what?
accountability you did.
Oh.
Keep in mind, watch out for that person, because when you're in a relationship with that person, they can be saying the same things about you.
See, and that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's true.
Cause like you said, I learned. Cause I used to be me. I ain't gonna front, and I ain't gonna sugarcoat.
I used to be like that too.
I used to be like, oh no, he did this. It's his fault.
He didn't He should have did this.
I don't understand why he did this. But then
that's
now,
women, though.
no.
No. I'm saying,
let me tell you.
when y'all younger.
Okay.
I say, cause let me pull it back, because now I'm like, ask me that story again.
Right.
Today on this one. You're gonna hear, yeah, he did this.
But I also.
But you know what? I could have did this better.
Exactly.
Look at God.
Oh, he
Jesus.
working.
Oh God.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at you,
Do you see me?
But she was nervous before they started. Look at that.
I was mad
you doing
nervous.
good. Okay, so Tamika from Sanford, Florida,
Tamika, what's this name?
wants to know, what tips would you give someone trying to date with kids and maintain their spirituality in what they believe in?
That's a tough one. You can't talk on that too much because my thing is, if you're not looking for I can't even get the word out. Man fearing God, or did I say it right?
God fearing.
God fearing man.
Mhm.
I probably was drinking a little too much, but anyway,
A man fearing. Who gonna fear man? I'm not fearing man.
I mean,
God
a
is
God
fearing
fearing man, a God fearing man. Then that's just on her. She just, you know what I'm saying? You got to know who you want to be with. So if that person be like, oh, I'm an atheist, I ain't messing with God, he's not going to change. That's how he is.
Exactly. But what if they start out praying? Like my ex-husband, he started out praying and he was praying for me, but at the end of the day, 2 years later, he stopped. Like it was nothing, like zero. So I had to pick up the pieces and be the prayer warrior.
But it's not wrong picking up the pieces of being a prayer warrior for your man, because you got to pray
the whole
for these
household,
men.
though. It's kind of difficult to hold those three strands together when it's supposed to be you hold your strand, he hold his strand, and God's strand.
Right.
You're like one person can't hold all three, and that's where I broke.
But to that, I got a question though. What happened in his life to the point where he let go? Because
that's a good question.
everybody goes through things. Maybe something happened.
He needed to get God, and he let go.
That's true.
Maybe he was upset at God at that point.
Yeah, because we do go through that.
Especially with death. Like, you question God.
Nothing. I'm just playing. He's just sorry. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
And then, some people...
you love that man!
And then some people, let's just say, holding on to strand. Some people grip ain't strong.
That's true.
So
they
some
stay
people
falling.
need that extra boost. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Some people can carry for a certain amount of time, but then they get fatigued.
Right.
They feel like they carrying too much, so they slow down. And sometimes that's when you got to step in and help that person continue their faith, because everyone's going to go through something in their life, trials, tribulations, whatever, where they feel weak, they feel vulnerable, and you need that backbone. You need that person that's always going to lift you up when you do fall down, because it's not no question if you're going to fall down, it's when you're going to fall down.
Yes.
But looking back, it's kind of like you don't. It's like he got comfortable.
Right.
When he noticed I took over that part, it was like, oh,
so
well,
he
got it.
He just let go of the wheel.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, she got it. Financially, spiritually, she got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so
he bumped his head.
A part of comfortability. Like I played a part in that. I made him comfortable to think I could hold it on my own. And I couldn't. Like, after 5 years, it was like, I ain't doing this no more.
That's part of human nature, too.
Like, what's going on? And I need you to snap out of it. And the crazy thing is, too, with that, too, speaking on that, just touching it a little bit, you never know. You got to focus on yourself, too. You have to be that prayer warrior for yourself. Because I never knew my ex was a God-fearing man until he passed away. Like, I used to always be praying, like, why you don't want to come to church with me? What is the problem? You act like you don't believe in God. Which, it was totally not the case. He just went in his corner and did it. You feel what I'm saying? And I didn't see it. You feel what I'm saying? So, all this time, I'm like this demon. I can't get it.
That leads me back to what I said earlier, though. Everybody's not you.
Right.
So everybody has their own relationship with God.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's another issue. Or people like to, and people like to say, okay, I pray this way, or I do things this way, and you don't take in, into consideration how someone else might, have a relationship with God. They might pray a different way than you. You know what I mean? But you just have to have those kind of conversations with that person and understand. It's all about understanding at the end of the day. And if you can understand God, you should be able to understand your partner.
Come on, Brother Real.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
All right. So last question.
Is this a sign?
This is from Janae from Bronx, New York.
Look.
She said, we've been dating for 2 years, and we live together, but I haven't met his kids yet. He tells me he wants the house to be clean of spirits before
What?
wait. He tells her he wants the house to be cleansed, spirits first with sage, but it's been 2 years. So, Chrissy, help me.
Wait, I'm
okay,
lost.
so this is not taboo. This happens a lot in the South.
Wait,
Can I? It does
what
happen
you
a lot
mean
in the
sage?
Yeah,
South.
burn sage.
Yeah,
yeah.
you
It's
bless
been
the
2
house.
years, though. It don't take that long to
Well,
clean
exactly.
out.
Maybe he felt something. Maybe he saw something. You never know.
But no, but hold
Janae,
on.
we about to help
Are you
girl.
calling her kids a demon? No, that's what I want to know. Are they
First
possessed?
off-
No, it's his kids.
Oh.
She doesn't. It sounds like she don't have kids, but he has kids that she hasn't met.
And she want to sage the house?
No, he wants to sage the
Before
house
she goes inside?
before he lets the kids meet her.
Oh no.
That's
That,
kind of weird.
you see?
Yeah, that's kind of
Okay.
I'm gonna need
That's something you do like
This
when you
sounds-
first move into a house. You know what I mean? Like,
Not only that, but this sounds like an excuse.
He
Thank
got
you.
another.
It's been 2 years.
He doesn't want his kids around you. That's what it sounds
Yes.
He
Okay.
got another wife. Okay.
like. Yeah.
Go sit
Janae.
This is some old school stuff where he got a whole family across
A
town.
whole
Okay.
different
The
family.
baby mama is really the wife. You the side chick. You just don't
Oh,
know it.
yes.
Okay. Got it. Janae, I hope you're tuning in with me.
I'm sorry to tell you.
If not
breaking
tonight,
the news to you. I'm sorry.
you know.
The news you
So,
want to hear.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that concludes the Q&A for tonight.
Yay.
And I want to thank you guys for sharing your bits and pieces of your raw truth with your stories to connect with the audience. And before we leave, I just want to ask everyone, do you have any advice that you would give someone that's currently dating or want to start dating that's tuning in with us tonight?
Okay, I think we should just go and
All right. So it kind of goes back to that. Not the last question, but the one before that. People with different spirituality than you. Prime example. I like going to church, but it's only if I receive the message.
Yes.
Like I want a pastor that's been through something in his life.
Yes.
Okay.
One of my favorite pastors was a pimp, drug dealer, all that. Changed his
Ooh.
life. God rest his soul because he passed. But
Oh, wow.
every single time he got up there, I felt like literally chills. Like right.
This
like
is
I'm
how you're
getting right
supposed
now.
to feel. Yes.
Right. Like I felt it. Sometimes, and you can speak to this. Like prime example, when we were in basic or AIT, you go to church, you really feel it. I don't know what it is. I guess because they link it. They link it to like your job or whatever, but you feel it. I've been in churches where I'm sitting there like,
you feel disconnected.
Are we done yet?
right.
Yeah.
And they be like, oh.
Right. It feels fake. It feels forced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, for me personally, I wouldn't just go to like if I'm dating someone, I wouldn't just go to your church. Like after I go the first maybe 2 times, if I'm not feeling, I'm not going back.
Exactly.
Just because we're dating, don't mean I have to go to your church.
Now, do you think that will cause any conflict? Okay, I go to this church. You should go to this church. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm getting at.
If we have that conversation prior to it and you still have conflict afterwards, once again, it's not meant to be.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't settle just because one person wants to go to this.
You shouldn't settle on any aspect of your life.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Come on,
I think that's his message. Like,
Shorty, bring it through.
It's millions and millions of people. Not to mention, women outnumber men. So it's easier.
Women actually have more wealth than men.
Right. So it's easier for us to find the right woman than it is for women to find the right man.
That's true. Come on, Miss Tiffany. What advice you got for us?
Okay, so my aspect of that is I used to be that woman, of course. Hey, why you not coming to my church? What's the problem? You just don't love me. Okay. It's fine. I'm going to praise my Lord by myself because I'm going to get these blessings.
Okay.
So, and then speaking of that, before I came back to Savannah, remember I used to go to church faithfully.
Yes, you did.
And I loved my pastor. I felt like he was the bomb. He was speaking to me. He always, like you said, I felt it. But then after I went through what I went through with the passing of Aunt, God rest his soul again, I came back there. I didn't feel the love anymore. I felt like it was like they sitting in the same spot Like, I didn't feel like they progressed. They still was in another person's church. You feel what I'm saying? From 5 years, you didn't get your own church, man. I felt like it wasn't, everybody was just being the same. Like, it wasn't a growth to me. So I was like, okay, I'm not feeling your church. I'm not going to go back to this church anymore. And this was my church I was going through when I was in Savannah for 5 years before I left. And I loved it. But I just didn't feel it. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to praise God at home. I know he brought me through this far. Until I find the right church, I'm good. Because he got me. So...
From anywhere.
Right. On that note.
And just like you shouldn't settle for your mate, you shouldn't settle for a church. Just
right.
to be going.
Right. Just because
you should be drawn. You should be drawn
right.
to a church.
Right. All right, Big Daddy. Oh, yes.
I think was the advice for someone that's single who wants to. Yeah, just like we've been saying this entire stream, don't settle. Know yourself. Be comfortable with yourself. And then go out and date, because it should come natural. You'll naturally, when you're into yourself, when you become so aware of yourself, of your habits, of what you're good at, what you're bad at, then it's going to become a lot easier for you to meet the right people. And everyone that you meet doesn't necessarily mean that you have to date them or be with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, just keep your eyes open, third eye open, everything like that. And I just want to say one last thing. Okay. R.I.P. George. George Floyd.
Come on. Yes.
We're mourning for your family. So I just want to let that out right now. So
I run with mine.
Are we gonna say that for tomorrow?
I run with mine. What?
We got no time to talk about that, or are we saving that for tomorrow?
I don't know what time it is.
9:30.
What about 30 minutes?
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay.
So I've had conversations with people about this. It was literally a picture on IG of every unarmed black person that died since Trayvon Martin.
You gonna
well over 20 people, and I think Trayvon was 2014.
He was early.
It was
like after Mike Brown.
12. Yes.
I think 12.
So 8 years, we're averaging like 3 to 4 people per year. Of course, that's
that we're seeing, because some of them is probably swept under the rug.
Exactly.
But we can go further back. We can go all the way back to Emmett Till. We can go back to slavery.
Hey.
It's true.
It's been going on, and the problem that I'm having is, of course, we're outraged, right? What's the answer, though?
Come on.
We've been going through this way too long for us not to have an answer. We've tried non-violent protests. We tried violent protests. We've tried using our voice as far as voting to vote the right people in who claim they have an agenda for us. But then when they get there,
they don't do nothing.
They do their politics stuff and they don't do anything for us.
That's true.
So what's the answer here? Do we leave, go back to Africa as they want us to do, even though they brought us here? We didn't ask to be here. I'm just curious, what's the answer? Like, do we start a civil war?
That's a great question, and there's the dynamics of it. It's like a pie that's been cut in so many pieces.
Yeah. And
it's been deliberately made that way. There's no correct right answer, but I will say we have tried a lot, but we haven't tried everything. Yeah. There's still so much we can do that some of us are afraid to do because we're afraid of the consequences
and unity
of it.
And
on that, I don't think us as black people, and I'm just gonna say this, like, integration did not change anything. I think it made things a lot worse. I think before integration, when we were in segregation, we were a lot more together as a people. And with integration, we kind of lost that. That unity that we had, and there's so much separation. There's even
all right,
people,
Jody. Jody raising his hand.
Jody like, it's my
time. I'm gonna finish.
Go ahead, Jody.
Black love, yes.
So, the whole segregation and integration thing. Right. So we have Black Wall Street. For y'all that know about that, y'all understand what it is.
Oklahoma.
Yes. They literally bombed us.
They did. It was a terrorist attack.
Right. This was prior to integration. When we had segregation, we had our own everything. Because we had no choice.
We had black businesses, we had doctors, we had lawyers, we had everything.
That was the unity that we had. They allowed us to come in, and then we became so codependent. It was almost like sharecropping all over again. And with that codependency, is a lot of people that got so comfortable that they're not willing to, quote unquote, go against their masters.
It's true.
So we can't get to the point of unity as a race if those people don't come on over and be like, hey, we're going to help y'all out.
Now, do you think it is more difficult for black people who are successful? Let's say they're millionaires. They've broken that systemic, you know what I mean? That
stereotype.
Yeah, that stereotype of being poor. Do you think it's tougher for them to reach back into the community and actually speak out and help? Because
it shouldn't be. This is where we need them the most.
It's
and
easier
I
for
say
them.
that because we have a lot of black millionaires. We have a couple black billionaires. But we're not putting that money together. See, and this is something that the Jews do. And they have a collective bank.
You see how
they
you
have
say
a collective community. So when something happens to them, let's say it's anti-Semitism, they collectively boycott, and they do it in such a strategic way that they get the change that they want. Us as black people, we are not unified spiritually, emotionally.
Come on now, because it's always something gonna break out, a fight, something. And it is crazy that you said that, because a Jew had passed away in my hometown in New York. And this was around, of course, COVID going on. We supposed to be 6 feet apart, right? The cops did not touch them. They was crowded like sardines, you know, respecting that man that passed away. But then when one of our black fellows passed away, Pop Smoke, God rest his soul, I love him.
On that song,
I love it.
What you said that?
Okay, let's get back to the subject. It was peaceful at the first, because he was a rapper. Of course he's gonna have the right protection. Of course he's gonna have the cops and everything. But we got rowdy. Of course we're gonna get rowdy. That's Pop Smoke. Hello. You know what I'm saying? We don't know when to go home. We don't know when it's to stop. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot.
See, that goes back to that integration thing, though. So we have the upper black people, middle class. They're used to being able to do stuff. The lower class, the people that's in the projects, they're struggling for everything. So once they get it, they're going to fight to keep it. If they can't get it, they're going to go take it.
Do you think they've reached that status? Because to me, white supremacy is a status. You know what I mean? It's a status that some and nobody can. If you're black and you're wealthy and you're successful, I think it's a duty to reach back into your community.
I think
you should
so
never forget where you came from.
It's easier for them to do that. But here's the thing, like I said, the ones that's in the projects, they're not willing to help because nobody's helping them.
Exactly. It's crabs in a bucket syndrome.
So you're saying because I came from the gutter and I got on, y'all gonna do the same? That's what you're saying? Like, okay, they started from the bottom, and now that they got on, they had to struggle to do it. They was from the projects. They had to struggle to do it, and then they're put on. Why am I going back to give back? That's what you're saying? Or you're saying it?
No, I'm saying the ones that's in the projects.
Okay.
As far as advancing black people, they're not trying to.
It's hard. I think it's hard to do it because they're actually living every day.
They're living that. They're living
like,
that.
You don't have the funds to help somebody else out if you're barely eating yourself.
Exactly.
Of course they can't help out.
The ones that's millionaires, it's easier to come back and give scholarships. Prime example, LeBron James giving scholarships to college and to his school. Or Jay-Z actually reaching back out and doing stuff in New York. So,
of course.
So it's easier for them to do that. It's the ones that's at the very bottom. Even the ones in the middle class. Like, you've worked hard to get here. You're literally working paycheck to paycheck just to get by. You don't have it to help somebody else out.
Okay, so in saying that, I guess the question again, what you propose, what are the answers? What can we do? Because even though that we have agendas to do that, what is anything coming out of it? Like, is anything changing in such a way that we as black people are advancing? Because this, like, just think about it. In the 1960s, we just got civil. I'm putting in quotations civil
Okay.
rights,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's in the '60s.
Mhm.
We're that's not too long ago. That's only 60 years?
Yeah.
About 60 years. So that's not. So
No, I had enough.
okay.
But I feel like the answer to it, honestly,
Oh, so you
With-
had the answer.
this is my personal.
Like
Oh,
I said, there's
okay.
many answers, but
Okay,
I
that
want to
was
hear his
piggyback
answer.
something too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my personal answer to it is the ones that's at the top, the Jay-Z's, the Oprahs
Mhm.
of the United States, really of the world, honestly, because it takes me back to this quote from Black Panther, where Killmonger was preaching to everybody else in the council.
Mhm.
You have your own brothers and sisters, mainly over here in America, that are struggling. There's plenty of people over in Africa that are rich that could easily help us out.
That's true.
So that being
Where
said,
they at?
I feel like it's the ones that's at the top. Use those resources. Make it easier for people to go to college. Make it easier for them to get proper education, clothes, food. Because there's a lot of kids out here that don't eat unless they go to school. And some of them can't go to school because they're busy taking care of their younger siblings. So make this access for them. Once you give them the tools, it's up to them to use those tools to get better.
But
That's
also another question, I guess, is that would that erase that invisible ceiling for Black people? Because it seems like for Blacks we can only make it but so far before we hit that ceiling.
But see, here's the thing, right? With that being said, with the upper echelon helping the lower people out,
Right.
once they start going up, guess what's gonna happen? They're like, oh, that worked, so let's do it too. Let's help somebody else that's still back
Exactly.
Yes.
That reaches
Because
back.
they
You think
they
so
seeing the pattern.
reaching out
here. When you raise the
Right.
you raise the floor, the
Right.
ceiling automatically raises.
raises high.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
that's
there you go. There you go.
Okay, look at these Black
All right.
excellence.
All right. So I want each and every one of you to say, where can my followers find you at on whatever platform you want to display right now? Go ahead.
Oh boy.
You can find me at Jody Joe at Instagram or Snapchat. I'm not gonna give y'all my Facebook though.
Hey, okay.
Why not? What's on your Facebook?
No.
Oh, click. Pose.
Well, y'all can find me at Tiffany, my name, Spencer, and you're gonna see the face. So,
Oh yeah, that's Jodei.
oh
Make
yeah,
sure I spell it
Jody.
Jody.
Jody. All right,
Hey.
Jody. I need to get mine out.
Go ahead.
I need to find my husband.
You already found him. He right there.
They up here playing Jamaica.
Hey.
Yes, and then on Instagram, girl, and on Instagram, Nesbit Tiffany. You're gonna see my beautiful face too. Okay. Mhm.
You can find me on Instagram, TJB. That's TEJAYBE _. I'm not gonna give you my Facebook either, but yeah.
Well, what's on your
It's just
Facebook?
Instagram. I really don't use Facebook.
Facebook is more
Okay.
like,
Okay.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram.
All right. So that concludes tonight's episode, and y'all already know where you can find me at. And also, these videos will be edited and uploaded to YouTube next week, and along with photos for promo.
Yes.
Hey,
I gotta
you
go.
ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh.
You ready? Let's
Ow.
take these pictures.
Yes, honey. So we're gonna end tonight with a prayer,
Of course.
and we're gonna
Most
close
def.
out with a prayer. So bow your head. Let's get to it. Lord, we thank you for a blessed night. We know we cannot or may not resonate or touch everyone, but the ones we do, we thank you, and we pray that they are 10 times as blessed to receive these inspired messages just as we are to give it. I ask that you lead us and guide us in the right direction or path that you have chosen for us individually, but most importantly, to reach back and grab the ones, our brothers and sisters, along the way, even though we can't take them all. In Jesus' name, we thank you for showing up and showing out and giving us the strength and your wisdom to do so as well. We know all things are your way and your will, so thank you for using us. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Hey.
Not bad for the first time.
Yes.
I know, right?
How do we do? Honest
Girl,
opinion.
Yes.
You-
Okay, honest opinion, I think you did awesome. I think you did great. I think you did awesome. First and foremost, for you, your surprise for me is that tonight is closing season 3. So tonight is actually the finale
Oh wow.
to close as my special anniversary celebration with you guys. Tomorrow, we will be back with Mr. TJB with his artistry and a performance from Space TK as an artist as well.
Yeah.
And they will be opening season 4 for me with episode 1.
So I'm going to be back.
You coming tomorrow?
Hey, you already know, because I'm going to do awesome.
Tomorrow's all black, okay?
And don't got to tell me twice.
Okay. Tomorrow's all black, Mr.
Yeah,
Jordan.
you already know I got it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Tune in with us tomorrow. Do y'all want to walk in front of the camera so they can see y'all? Guys?
Okay, let's holla.
Walk in front of the camera.
Yeah,
Let's holla.
make y'all appearance.
Go ahead, Jody. It's not from Baby Boy.
And you said that name a little too much. Let me stop.
You already know.
Love y'all.
You already, I think you know how to say it.
My forehead look big as hell. Well, never mind.
Come on, Tim. Oh, my baby is splendid. Go, Tim.
Because y'all know I walks through. I come up.
Oh,
And let me walk through. Come on.
bad,
And
man.
let me walk through. Hold on.
Come on, TJB.
Ow.
Let's go.
Look at T.
There we go.
Alright, don't take the whole mic.
I
You
took
took
the,
the whole mic.
I ain't took the mic. I took
Oh,
the
the headphones. TJB,
Okay.
I don't think that y'all could even see me. Like,
I can see you.
Okay.
We should just get the camera and just hold it
All
up.
right, well, let me
Come on, Lee.
Hey,
Come on, Lee. Shut up. Shut up.
Y'all see my team? This is Black Excellence right here.
Yes.
Black Excellence. They showed up and showed out with me tonight. So post your questions, and we're going to answer them, and we'll get back to y'all. Look like Michael Jackson still, though, a little wet head.
Say-
I'll see y'all later, okay? Bye.